You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome into the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. I am Pete Fox. Yep, I forgot my name. You can also find us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Well, a nice little matinee win for the Dodgers there in Denver, wrapping up a series win against the Rockies at Coors Field, 5-3 today. And this is a nice series win for them. Obviously, offense is a predominant part of any game that is played in Denver, and for the Dodgers to go in there and perform offensively very efficiently the way they did in this series feels really good. I thought they took advantage of what was happening on the field and got clutch hits throughout this entire series. So a big one today, 5-3 the final. Got a little shaky there towards the end, but I think more than anything, we can feel really good about Gavin Stone's outing. A lot of the pundits and I know the play-by-play guys, especially Eric Karros, commented today that he feels like Gavin Stone has been the most consistent Dodger pitcher of late for them, and it's hard to argue. I mean, he has done very well. Now, granted, two of his last few outings, if not the last two, have been against the Colorado Rockies, who aren't the most potent offense in Major League Baseball, but they can hit the ball, especially in Denver. You know, it's tough to keep even a team that is 26-49 down in Denver because the ball just flies there. But Gavin Stone did a very, very nice job of doing that tonight. I need to tell you that, or today rather, that this episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Tax Network USA. Did you know that it's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS? Don't wait. Reduce your tax debt and get help from a team of licensed tax professionals. Call 1-800-549-1000 or go to tnusa.com/locked on. Again, a 5-3 win for the Dodgers today to take 3 of 4 in Denver at Coors Field. The thing about Gavin Stone that I liked and appreciated was he was mixing up his hammer pitch, his strikeout pitch. He started with the four seam, then a couple of changes, then a slider, back to the four seam. So the four seam is probably his favorite pitch, followed closely by the slider. But the change was pretty devastating today. He had that working, which was nice to see. Shohei Ohtani, a great series in Denver against the Rockies, 8 of 18 over the series, led off the game with a home run, his 21st homer of the season. I was a little shocked and surprised to see that number, 21 home runs already for Shohei Ohtani. Turns out he's pretty good, even with that bizarre flying out hip, or the Jimmy leg, as somebody called it last night. I think it was BC, referred to Shohei Ohtani's right front leg as a Jimmy leg, something you have when you have restless leg syndrome. What is this? Jeff will be doing Locked On Dodgers live as soon as I am done here. So thank you for that, Jeff. And make sure you check that out as soon as we're done here with Locked On Dodgers Postcast. Jeff with Locked On Dodgers will be live on their podcast feed and their YouTube feed as well, the Locked On Sports LA YouTube feed. So all in all, Stone, solid 5 innings, got a little shaky right there at the end, loaded the bases and they yanked him, and then Trinan came in, gave up a hit, which scored 2 of the 3 for the Rockies and made it a little interesting. Then later in the game, in the 8th inning, Vesia, who interestingly had a dominant inning, gave up a home run there to McMahon, which was an absolute blast. He threw that ball right down Main Street, right over the plate, and McMahon took complete advantage of it. Just a perfect, beautiful swing, and absolutely launched that ball to center field, 462 feet. So Stone, in the end, his line kind of ugly, but I thought all in all, a very solid, dominant performance. Gets the win. He's now 8-2, 5 1/3, 2 runs on 4 hits. And I think I mentioned that yesterday, that you'd like to see that line be a little bit lower than both starting pitchers had in last night's game. And I think this is a perfect, I mean, you could account for Denver with this line and say that is a better than solid start. That is a really, really efficient, good start there for Gavin Stone. He threw 77 pitches, did not allow a home run. He struck out 7. As again, he mixed up the pitches he used to strike out those 7 Rockies. 2 runs on 4 hits and just 2 walks. So all in all, there's not much to be upset about. Blake Treinen again gave up the 1 hit, but those 2 RBIs were charged to Stone. So it's not even really those runs aren't his. I mean, he loaded the bases, but then Treinen gave up the hit there. So it's the first time I've seen Treinen give up a hit all season. I missed what I missed 6 games, 9 games, something like that during my trip. But I haven't seen Treinen give up a hit at all. You almost feel like he's destined to strike out the side, but he did not give up a hit tonight. Threw 12 pitches and got out of the jam, though. Hudson came in, zeros across the board with 1 strikeout on just 12 pitches. Vesia, a little bit rough, I guess, because he gave up a home run and threw 23 pitches, but struck out the side. So that was nice to see as well. And then Phillips in the 9th. Woo! That sweeper was like Treinen-esque. It was pretty wicked. Struck out the first batter, 1-2-3 with a sweeper, and then a strike. So he threw 4 strikes in a row, and then a fly ball, and then got the 3rd out rather efficiently as well for the save. Threw just 11 pitches to keep his ERA at 1.8. So Treinen's ERA was at 0 for a good portion of the season. It is now ballooned to 2.35. Hudson's still sub 2 at 1.8. Vesia 1.3. Man, he's just been very, very consistent of late, hasn't he? And Evan Phillips is just dominating since his return from the IL. Well, the Dodgers get the 5-3 win. We'll take the first break and come back and get into the Diamond Dogs list, which worked out perfectly. When you score 5 runs, guess who makes the top 5 plays of the day on the Diamond Dogs list? All of those people. I am Pete Fox. Thank you for joining me here. The Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. We come in after the game, right after the game, and break it down for you. Get into the details of this game. And then Jeff and Vince do the Locked On Dodgers thing on their YouTube and podcast feed. And you can get their perspective as well. So you have 2 different opinions here on this very game. I get a little bit more into the details of the game, and those guys break it down kind of more globally as to what it means for the team as a whole. But we're going to do that a little bit here today as well, because I feel like this series was good for the Dodgers because it's the first one they have had without Mookie Betts, and that is obviously tough, and you don't like to see that, but it is also a situation for them to grow and become more confident as a unit. And I think they did that here in Denver, even though Denver's not a great team record and standing wise. They're a tough bunch. They've been a thorn in the side for the Dodgers. They definitely don't roll over. And I think the Dodgers come out of this series feeling pretty good about themselves. You can also check us out on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. We'll hit the first break and come right back. I'm Pete Fox, and thank you for joining me here on the Locked On Dodgers postcast. All right, today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by the professionals at TaxNet USA. Here on Locked On Dodgers postcast, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team, that being the Dodgers, whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, or the playoffs. It's year-round, and you know what else is year-round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your tax accounts, even seize properties from you. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. We had a very interesting year last year. My wife had a very successful year with regard to her sales professional position, and did above average. So we wanted to do something wise with that money and invest it in properties. And we did that, and it's been going very well. But with that extra money came extra stress and extra tax liability that we were just worried about for months on end. Fortunately, our tax professional was able to help us through all of that. And it definitely relieved a lot of that stress that we were worried about. And in the end, we got a refund. So that was just an awesome thing that I don't believe if we had done it ourselves would have happened. So tax professionals are definitely worth their weight in gold. And with over 14 years of experience and an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau, TaxNet USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes or have completed matters that require tax planning, or finally hit the parlay this season and need to help correctly file your taxes with the IRS, give them a call, 800-549-1000, TaxNet USA or Tax Network USA, or on the web at tnusa.com/locked on. Today's show also brought to you by Policygenius. Policygenius. A lot of life is unpredictable. You see, taxes aren't unpredictable, but other things in life are. A good life insurance plan gives your family a financial safety net to protect against some of life's unknowns. Policygenius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It makes choosing the right policy for your family easy and quick. Policygenius helps you compare your options from America's top insurance providers, in just a few clicks. Their award-winning agents can walk you through the process step by step. Policygenius has no incentive to recommend one insurer over another. They just give you the details and then let you select and provide guidance along the way. Get the peace of mind you need finding the right life insurance with Policygenius. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description. That's policygenius.com. All right, Dodgers post a 5-3 win to take 3 of 4 in Denver against the Rockies. One of the things that I was mentioning in the first segment there is that I like the way the Dodgers kind of mixed and matched through this series with the absence of Mookie Betts, moving guys around, different guys at third base, Pajes batting in the cleanup spot, Will Smith batting second. They moved Ohtani, of course, into the leadoff position. Freddie Freeman has continued to be hot. I believe he has a 17-game on base streak that is active right now. 2 for 5 today. Had the home run, which was nice to see. The back-to-backer, which we'll get to here in a second with the Diamond Dogs list. But yeah, just Miggy Rojas, going to play shortstop a fair amount with Mookie out. Many people believe that Mookie will come back and not be the shortstop after this. I don't know that that will be the case. My feeling is they're locked in on Mookie Betts at shortstop, whether he's hurt or not. I don't believe that they'll make Miggy Rojas the day-to-day shortstop. Obviously, he is, he's a solid player. He's a good hitter and is having a good season, batting .279. He was 0 for today. But, there's lots to like about Miggy Rojas, but I just don't believe that they're going to move him to shortstop on a day-to-day basis. And the acquisition of Biggio gives them a little bit of flexibility. He played third base yesterday, but I don't think they're going to move him to shortstop or switch it up with Gavin Lux. I don't see the need for that. It's not as if Mookie Betts is terrible there. He makes a couple of mistakes here and there, but he's doing just fine. The Dodgers defensively have the top rating in the league. So, it's fine. I don't know why people are so anti Mookie Betts playing shortstop, other than the fact that it's a heavier load than outfield or second base, and people want Mookie Betts to hit and not worry about shortstop. But it doesn't seem to be a major problem for me. But I feel comfortable and confident that the Dodgers have plenty of options. With the left-handed starter today, Gavin Lux sat, Chris Taylor played and came up with 2 hits. Hey! How about Chris Taylor got the average up 131. He is on fire. They talked about it during the broadcast. Stephen Nelson mentioned that the majority of what Chris Taylor has been doing lately with regard to getting hits has been opposite field to the right side, going with the ball. And of course, Eric Karros kind of scoffed at that idea. Yeah, let the ball travel, old man Karros in there thinking that doesn't mean anything, but clearly it does. And if Chris Taylor, who has a very, very loopy long swing like Andy Pajes, if he can shorten that up just even a little bit and let the ball travel a little bit more, he's going to be more successful. I don't know why Eric Karros thinks that's a ridiculous thought. And I don't know if Karros and Nelson like each other. It kind of seems like they don't. Or Eric Karros to me seems like a pretty cool, down to earth guy, but he also seems like one of those guys that feels like he's better than you because he played Major League Baseball. And there's no way that you could know as much as he knows because he played Major League Baseball, and that just, I hate that. That just drives me absolutely insane. You can't make a good point unless you're a former professional, right? Only former professionals know what they're talking about. No, really not. Other people can know what they're talking about as well. And that's fine. That doesn't mean you're an idiot, Eric Karros. But sometimes you are. Like today he made a ridiculous statement in the eighth inning on that single that Freddie was the ninth, actually. That single that Freddie Freeman legged out. Did you catch that comment from him? Well, with Mookie down, you might want to, dial it down a notch. I'm paraphrasing because he didn't say that exactly, but it was something to the effect of, we don't need you to give 100%, Freddie. It's June. Relax. We can't afford to lose you too. I'm like, what? Really? You think these guys, especially Freddie Freeman, has the ability to just play at 90%, 85, maybe even 75? No, not Freddie Freeman. Most of these guys, I would say, don't have that ability. It's not a rheostat. It is a switch. When they're in the game, it is on, and when they're out of the game, it is off. And probably for some of them, it's still on when they're not in the game. But the fact of the matter is that they don't have that ability. They got to this level by playing to the best of their ability every single time they are out there, giving it 100% every single time, especially a guy like Freddie Freeman. That guy does not know how to go anything less than 100. It's not in his DNA. I'm sorry. I was just laughing at that. I thought that was completely and utterly ridiculous. What a bizarre comment. Like, oh yeah, it's okay in June to just dial it down a notch. Take a little off. Relax. Oh, man. Dodgers with a 5-3 win. Let's get to the Diamond Dogs list. According to BC, we are on a pace for 99 wins. So that's good. Let's shoot for 100. I like a nice even round number. 99 would be good. Dodgers now 47-30 after this win and 23-15 on the road. For number 5 on the Diamond Dogs list, of course, Shohei Ohtani takes that spot with the leadoff home run. It came on a 2-1 sinker, 427 feet, his 21st round tripper of the year. For number 4, Andy Pages, a nice RBI double in the third. It was a first pitch sinker right over the plate. And, I'm not in love with Andy Pages' swing most of the time, but he is a guy that is definitely getting better and learning and understanding the game and does not miss a lot of those that are right over the plate. So he's definitely improving and making that swing a little bit more efficient. It's still very long, but it's working. So let's hope that he continues to find spots to take advantage of a shorter swing and understand that it doesn't always have to be the biggest swing that he has. There are times when he can just make contact and put the ball in play, and that'll be effective. It made the score 2-0 for the Dodgers. Vargas had a nice RBI single in the third shortly after Pages. It came on an 0-1 sinker and it made it 3-0. Vargas just 1 for 3 on the day, but still batting over 308. So that's nice to see. For number 2, Will Smith, who hit a lot of balls really hard in this series, but had not a lot to show for it because he kept hitting it right at people or to right field. Seems like Eric Karros and Steven Nelson thought, well, if he hits it somewhere else, it'll be fine. And they were right, ultimately, with regard to that, because he hit a homer in the fourth to left center field for his 11th round tripper. It came on a 2-2 sinker. And then in the back-to-back home run department, Freddie Freeman batting third today, a home run in the fourth, also his 11th. That one went 430 feet, and it came on an 0-1 curveball, which was nice to see. So Freddie Freeman continuing to hit the ball 2 for 5 today, average above 300, and Will Smith has it at 276. All of his numbers have come down quite a bit because he's gone through a bit of a cold streak, on base of 343 and a slugging of 486. So we'll have to hope that Will Smith gets hot again, a month or two down the road, but he's definitely taking care of business and doing the job. Dodgers with a 5-3 win, taking 3 of 4 in this series. Shohei Ohtani, the leadoff homer. He then walked, then struck out, flew out to center field, and then walked again. Again, 8 of 18 in this series. So he had a fantastic series. I am Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also download us and listen on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. All right, today's show also brought to you by our friends at Stitch Fix. Let's hope that I can read the script or read off of the script, because I still haven't printed it out in bigger type. Sometimes my eyes are better than other times. This happens. This is one of the good things that Stitch Fix can help you with. If you have bad eyesight, if you are farsighted, and seeing things up close is difficult, especially sizes. When we were on vacation, I was trying to find a t-shirt, like a Suvi, and I kept grabbing my daughter. I'm like, what size is this? What does this say? Because I just couldn't read it. I was like, and I don't want to buy a medium and end up with a shirt that's too damn small. And in Italy, believe me, extra large is what we call large. So I had to go with a double X, and it fits perfect, but I haven't washed it yet. So I'm a little worried. And unfortunately, like with Stitch Fix, if it doesn't fit or you don't like it, or if you wash it and it shrinks, you can send it back. Yeah, that's not the case when you buy a t-shirt at a souvenir stand in Rome. But one of the things that I did appreciate about that shirt when I put it on, it felt good because it's a brand new t-shirt and it looks good. It's a color that I don't normally buy. So I got that instant confidence boost from new clothes. When you look good, you feel good, and Stitch Fix helps you do that. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist who understands your style, size, and budget. They do all the shopping for you. It's the easiest way to update your wardrobe this season. And if you don't love something, again, you can just send it back. Shipping and returns and exchanges are always free. But I think more than anything, the cool thing about Stitch Fix is having that stylist there. You tell them what you like. I'm a jeans guy. I'm a t-shirts guy, whatever it is. I like the quarter zip, golf shirts, whatever your style is. And maybe you think your style is one thing and they, after getting to know you a little bit, disagree, and they kind of maybe point you down a new road. It's very cool, especially when they pick out the whole outfit. Because I know sometimes I'll find a good shirt and a nice pair of pants, but then I'll not pay attention to the shoes. They get the whole outfit for you. Shoes, socks, pants, even the belt. So check them out. Stitch Fix, styles that make you feel as good as you look. It started today at stitchfix.com/lockedon. That's stitchfix.com/lockedon. stitchfix.com/lockedon. Five-3 win for the Dodgers today. Shohei Ohtani led off the game with the home run, which is always a nice feeling. And then Gavin Stone took over from there. He was dominant for 4 innings, got a little shaky in the 5th, dominant for 5. Pretty good through 5. And then in the 6th inning, got 1 out, then loaded the bases, and they yanked him, which was pretty much the right call. Trinan came in and gave up a hit, scored 2 runs to make it a 5-2 ball game. McMahon hit a home run in the 8th to make it a little closer, but Evan Phillips was untouchable today. Dodgers got the 1 in the 1st, and then 2 more in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th. So it did most of their scoring early, like last night. So I don't know necessarily that there's a trend going on with the Dodgers needing to score late or early or whatever. I like them being dynamic, just doing it all over the place. It always feels good to score early, but the Rockies have scored early in this series. I believe I didn't do Monday's game. So Tuesday and Wednesday, the Dodgers were coming from behind. So that was nice to see. That's a good feeling. And tonight they were front running. If I had to put my thumb on who this team is right now, I would say they're a little bit more of a comeback team. They can, rope-a-dope for 6-7 innings and then win a game like they did on Tuesday in that huge comeback. But I would much rather see a team that can win a game from in front and from behind. Coming from behind, especially in the postseason, is a little bit nail-biting. That is not necessarily the way you draw it up. You would rather have them score early, fight through the middle innings, maybe surrender a run or two to make it a little bit closer, and then finish it off late with an insurance run and the bullpen taking over and getting the win. So I feel like the Dodgers have to become, I don't want to say better, just good. Like, they're fine, but I want them to keep it up. I feel like they need to be a good front running team, and today was that. So hopefully it helps them improve in that department. The come from behind Dodgers, for the most part, I feel like that's fortified. Like, that tank is pretty full. I don't know that they're a team that has a problem coming from behind. They've got veteran leadership. Yes, BC, you are correct. That helps with the youngsters. We've seen it multiple times. We saw Dave Roberts with Yohan Ramirez on the mound, which is, so far as I can tell, a monumental part of that guy's season. We've seen it with Teoscar Hernandez and Andy Pajes, and I'm sure it's happened a lot of times where we did not see it. So this team is veteran laden. They're flexible. They can play in different places. They are deep. We still haven't seen Dustin May or Tony Gonsolin. Saw Gratterall for a minute and he's disappeared. Michael Grove, haven't seen him in a while. What's going on with Joe Kelly? I'm curious there. I got to do a little bit of research. I don't know what's up with Joe Kelly because that was only supposed to be a couple of weeks and he's still out. But the bottom line is ultimately they have a lot. The cupboards are stocked. They're full. It's just that a lot of these guys are banged up. We don't know what's up. Let's see here. Banda's been good after acquiring him. Trying to invest. We haven't seen Yarbrough in a while, but every time we do, I feel very confident with that guy on the mound and his 74-mile-an-hour heater. So as far as what we have now, the nucleus that we're dealing with now and what's to come as far as guys getting healthy and getting back out there, it's a good place to be. And I feel like the bullpen has been an issue too many damn times. And that's the one thing that I don't necessarily worry about right now. Obviously that could change tomorrow. You just never know. I mean, Vesia was garbage for about 2 weeks early in the season and then has been dominant pretty much ever since then. Don't know much about this Michael Peterson guy, but Bobby Miller returned. Daniel Hudson's been good. Of course, Tyler Glasnow started strong. He's come back to earth just a tad bit, but continues to pitch well. Went 7 in his last outing. That was nice to see. Surrendered just 3 hits. So it's all good pitching wise right now. So Dodgers with the win, again, improving to 47-30. Rockies fall to 26-49. They are on the bird here in a couple of hours, heading back to LA to face the Angels in a 2-game freeway series, which starts Friday night at the Ravine. They'll play Friday and Saturday, and a very bizarre off day for Sunday. So that'll be interesting. I'm assuming they're heading back out on the road. I don't really know. But it's always fun to see the Angels and Dodgers meet up, whether it's in LA or Anaheim. And that will happen on, they're heading out to face the White Sox on Monday, the 24th. Glasnow will start on Saturday. No pitcher named as of yet for the Friday game against the Angels at Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine. So make sure you check that out and then join me here. Feel free to hit that like button and join the fun on the Locked On Dodgers postcast. It's on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out where every game is done. And of course, you can listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Again, don't forget to check out Jeff with Locked On Dodgers. He'll be going live here in just a few minutes on his podcast feed and the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. Once again, thank you for your support. Thank you for joining me here. We will talk again tomorrow night after Dodgers Angels at Dodger Stadium. Enjoy Thursday night. Enjoy the early part of your weekend as well. We will talk again tomorrow. Thanks.